Hello my friends, thank you for clicking on this video. Today I'm going to show you how I loot labs. So if you need that last LEDX or the one and only LEDX for a private clinic, then this is the video for you. And if you want to learn how to make money on labs in general, then this is the video for you as well. Before we jump into it though, I want to show you the key cards and the keys that I have for labs. So first one is the black key card. This is a level 4 barter from mechanic. I want to show you a quick little trick here. So if you go to mechanic level 4, and under the barters, as you can see, there is a barter for this here. It costs you like 1.5, 1.6 mil as of making this video. So what you want to do is up here, you can see the timer, obviously. So once that gets to close to 0, you want to go here, filter by item. You want to remove the exclude bartering offers. So you can see all of these offers, but you also don't want the player's offers to show up. So you go here, press on the cogwheel, and display offers from traders. Press OK, and once the timer runs to 0, you start refreshing it. It's gonna show out of stock for a bit. It doesn't refresh immediately. That's why this is the best way to do it, because you can just keep refreshing it. You can either press the refresh button up here or just press F5. You refresh it for like a minute, sometimes even 2 minutes after the timer runs to 0, and then you can scope it up. You press buy, and then the little pop-up window comes up. If you are sure you want to buy, you press Y on your keyboard so you don't lose any time, because people are sniping it and you can miss out pretty easily on that. Next one is the violet. This one costs a lot of money, so if you don't have the money, don't worry about it. I found mine. If I had a lot of money, I would probably buy this as well. And then the last two keys are the labs manager's office key. That's the glass office in the middle of labs, and then the little weapon testing area. That's the black cubicle looking thing in the pretty much underneath the office there. So that's about it. I'm gonna jump into the raid and I'll show you how much money I make, and then at the end of it I will have a little offline raid where I show you all the extracts as well, if you want to figure those out as well. All right, as you can see, we are loading in. So one thing I would recommend, if you have a labs key card or labs access card I should say, is run this with me in an offline raid. So what I usually do, this is the weapon testing area, by the way. I'm not going to load it straight away. The first thing I always do is I run to the red side of the map, which is over there where the red keycard and violet keycard room is. Close the door after yourself, so if people see the door closed, they were more likely to run up to you, so you hear them coming. First thing I check is right here is a green keycard spawn, and then I check the PCs. I don't check every single PC on the map. I check the PCs on the red side. If you don't have a very big bag, you can probably skip these. These are all empty. That usually doesn't happen. But labs is a very good spot to find GPUs, and I also have never seen that be completely empty. That's pretty cool. And this green box can spawn red rebels, taigas. It's rare, but it can happen. So next up is the violet. That room over there is the red room, by the way. And the first thing we check is on the bottom of this shelf. I should probably put it on laser so I can point it out easily. On the bottom of the shelf, valuables there. On top of this, filing cabinets. On the table, in the corner there, and right here is a LEDX spawn. Check on the seat, and then you get more weapon parts on these little racks here. And another valuable spawn right there, and there is a co-FDM spawn on one of these racks. I think it's also a Vertex or a VPX spawn, one of those. And also these tiny weapon boxes have 100% chance of spawning Iskras. Just so you know. On labs specifically, not every single map, of course. I do recommend checking the green weapon boxes though, because you can get some good stuff out of these. And also a intel spawn on one of these shells here, and the duffel bag, if that's something that interests you. And as you can see here, you get medical spawns as well. Solid ain't worth that much, so I'm gonna skip it. I don't know if I mentioned, but you always wanna use a painkiller, because if you get shot here, usually people break your leg quite fast because they use decent ammo. Next we go to the cat office. Another LEDX spawn right here where the Veritas coin is, and on this side of the box, and then check the table. Valuable spawn here. and in front of this PC, or the laptop rather. And I've also seen stuff float like above the laptop, which is kind of weird. But and also check this table here as well. And then we go back and we go towards the office here. I checked the jacket. You can skip it if you want. And valuable spawns here on the shelf. On the shelf here as well, I believe. And then PC here. And then you can check these shelves here on the bottom and on here. Sometimes stuff glitches, like clips inside of the shelf, so you want to hover over it. So if there's an item there, you can get the loot indicator. This plastic suitcase has a... I've seen a LEDX in here, so you want to check it. Also, LEDX spawns in front of the couch here, along with other valuables, and same here with this shelf. Once again, you want to hover over it. And then on the right side of this jacket, you get another valuable spawn. And then you get more PCs. This has to be the worst loot I've ever had on labs, by the way. Would you look at that? We actually got some loot. Let's go. And then another PC here. Also, as you can see, I carry a emergency water ration because, like I said, you want to always use a painkiller when you're running around from place to place. And that drains my hydration pretty fast, and it's kind of hard sometimes to come by any drinks on labs, so there's that. Once you run out, turn right. And you go into this room. LEDXs, along with other valuables, once again, spawns on here. And next to this monitor, there's a PC here. And this is... that opens the gates, the parking gate. And that spawns raiders. When I'm doing loot runs, I don't trigger it because I don't want to fight raiders as I'm looting. I don't know why I'm looting these. I usually don't, so... check on the chairs. If you want to loot cabinets, you do that. If not, then you can skip it. I usually skip them. Once you get here, on that line there between the red and the black car, there's a valuable spawn as well. Optoscopes, bases, stuff like that. This is a yellow keycard room. That is very expensive to swipe, so I don't bother. But if you have it, highly recommend hitting it. So once you get here, if you want to risk it, or you want to take a little bit of a risk, you can go to the office over there. If not, you can go straight to that room or that office there. I want to risk it because there's also a green keycard spawn here. And the green keycard spawns right in front of this red folder. Be wary of raiders, because if they see you here, they're gonna absolutely blast you. Intel spawns on the right side of this laptop. And this is the manager's office key. If you're fast enough and you don't trigger any alarms or any extracts, then the raiders don't spawn as often, but they can still spawn, so just be wary of that. If you don't feel comfortable fighting raiders, then you probably want to skip this until you get comfortable fighting them. More loot here. Usually I don't pick up DVD drives and hard drives because they are 2 slots and they don't go for a decent amount of money these days. And I think I completely forgot to mention that. My apologies. So rare spawns on this, and then they can spawn on this side as well. And there's a weapon box, of course. Sorry for this. Sometimes I forget I'm recording and I think I'm streaming instead. And then we go back this way where I came from. It seems like we have a dead raid. This is an online raid, by the way. You come here, you can either shoot the glass or you can just melee it. Now, there's more PCs here. For the sake of the video, I don't want to loot them all, but I would usually loot these in here. And these shelves here can spawn valuables. And then you have a safe here, and where this golden egg is, you can get all kinds of valuables, and I think over here as well. I do recommend looting the safes though, because you can get an easy 1,000 rubles, easy profit. Let's go. And once I get here, I shoot this glass, so it hits that glass back there as well, so that's broken. There's a duffel bag here, and then at the edge of the bench you get a technical spawn. And then you get to this window here. Right here is a... This can be a GPU. I don't think it can spawn LEDX, but GPUs and all kinds of technical loot. So check these shelves once again for LEDXs. And other valuables, look for the loot indicator. And there's more pieces in here as well. If I really take my time, I loot them. If not, then I skip them. But as you can see where this nice guy's pass is, this can also be all kinds of valuable spawns. And then you have a safe here. Intel's pretty good. I know some of you are watching and like asking me why I don't put stuff into my SIG case, like Veritas coins. Because I just forget them. My brain kind of small. And I don't wanna forget it. So I just leave it in a visible spot where I'm sure that I'm gonna be selling them. So once you get out, or once you're done looting this, get out and run down the stairs here. That door is always open. This door is always closed. The only thing I'm looking for here is the green keycard spawn. This is the blue room, which is, in my opinion, the worst room ever. So I wouldn't bother with that. Or I wouldn't bother getting the keycard for that. And right here is a green keycard spawn. And then you get some loose meds, or either here or here. Worth a look. And then I run to the left. I skip all of this stuff. I'm sure there's some loose loot there, but I don't really care about it. And once you get here, check this room here. On the floor here, on the table. And as you can here, we got ourselves a couple of friends. I think they're upstairs. Over here and on the ground here, you can get some valuables and med stuff and a very uncomfortable spot to try and deal with them because I kind of gotta run this way and they're up there. So let's try it anyway. YOLO. Yeah, I don't see them right now, so I'm just gonna risk it for the biscuit. Right here you get electronic spawns. So quickly glance over them. Once you get here, around these barrels with the very healthy green stuff, you want to check on top of the barrels for LEDX. And then on this PC, you can get a intel spawn. And once again, if you need food, feel free to check inside of these boxes. It has a 100% spawn of Iskras. So this is a good time to show you how I deal with raiders. I'm gonna drop my back so I don't lose any mobility. And the guy seems to be upstairs, so I'm gonna go upstairs myself. One trick against raiders is that you always want to have them running. If they're running, they are pretty much harmless. And you don't really have to worry about them. You can also work the slow lean to your advantage pretty easily as well. And they cannot see you through these blinds, by the way. As you can see, I'm literally looking at them. They don't see a damn thing. Raiders usually spawn in either pairs or trios. So this time I heard another one. He usually sits in front of the tent there, so let's see if I can get an angle. I can see him right there. And there we go. We killed them all. So once you kill 3 of them, you can be sure that there are no more, at least in that pack of raiders. Sometimes there are like multiple spawns of raiders and they can just swarm together. And there can be more, but they never spawn in more than sets of 3, I guess. So there are a couple of rigs that the raiders have that give you a lot of space. And this one is a great example. As you can see, this gives you 18 slots and it takes 12. So this is a great one to fill up and put it in your bag because you literally get 3 slots. This guy doesn't have any decent ammo. You can strip his weapon if you want. But if you drop their bag, And you hold control and left click. It throws everything into their rig until the rig fills up. Then it starts throwing stuff in their pockets. And that's that. And do that with as many rigs as you can fit in your bag. And that saves you a lot of space, or gives you a lot of extra space for making more rubles. The Vox 17 grenades are great because they go for sometimes 25k per bullet or per grenade. I'm gonna take the hexagon. I'm gonna throw this stuff in there. And as you can see, we pretty much cleared out our backpack and we have a ton of extra space here. You can check the mags as well. But generally I've noticed that the mags don't have any decent ammo. Like, the best I've seen on them is 5.6A1. They don't really spawn with BP 7.62 by 39 BP anymore. Don't see 5A1 anymore that often, so do with that as you will. I'll take that TX15. And what are these at? What's this ammo? FMJ, don't really care about that. And this rig, as you can see, gives you 12 slots, but it also takes 12 slots. So I personally don't take this rig, but it's extra money, so if you want to take it, you can, but I would wait until I get a raider with a bigger rig. Alright, so where do we get to? Intel spawns there. I think there's a... Actually, I'm not sure. I think there's a yellow keycard spawn on the table. I should have probably looked that up before. I'm sorry, I'll put it on screen if there is. Next thing I do, walk out of that side. Also check around here for technical spawns. Check these shelves. AVPX spawns in the corner here. Electronics, industrial stuff spawns right there, where this lamp is, and on the bottom right there as well. And then you get a black keycard spawn over here. More PCs if you want to loot them. You get a valuable spawn on the rack right here. And on this table, right next to the CDs, I guess. And more PCs. I'm gonna loot these PCs because I'm kind of low on loot, and I do want to fill up my bags. Like I said, usually I loot a lot more PCs, or I don't skip as many as I have for this video specifically. Drink my water. And there's 2 more PCs here. This is actually kind of terrible loot. Check here for valuables. And then we get to the weapon testing. There's a LEDX spawn in here as well. I found one a couple days ago right here where the optoscope is. I think it can spawn right here as well, where there's more valuable spawns, but I think it has a chance of LEDX as well. And I'll check the weapon box because, like I said, I want to fill up my bag. So I think I'd rather have the Vector. I'm not quite sure about all this loot or all the attachments on the TX. I'll definitely take the Vector. And as you can see, weapon parts on here, and more weapon parts and bullets here. And I'll check the weapon box as well. Usually I make around 1.5 mil per raid. Co-FDM spawns in front of this phone here. And the streamer cage has a couple of industrial loots as well. Now, there's more stuff that way, like toolboxes and stuff, but this is pretty much the end of the route for me personally. I usually end it with a black keycard check. This is the black keycard room. You can enter from both sides. I'm gonna try the black keycard. I do need to find an SJ9 for my task, so hopefully we get that. But there's also LEDX spawns around here, so check on the chairs. LEDX spawn right there. Got some stims here. Very nice. Trim it all. Good money. I do like to check this med case. It's an ordinary med case, but I still check them. So check on top of the chairs. Check on the floor. And also inside of these tarps. Like, around here, you can kind of clip inside of it. And on this little bed, you can get stims as well. And then you have the... on this bed, and then LEDX spawn on the ground here. And on both sides of the bed, you can get stims as well. So this is the loot I have. Generally, I would have it filled up with caps and wires and all that kind of stuff because I loot all the PCs. But like I said, I don't want to waste your time that much. There's another LEDX spawn I do want to show you, because if you spawn up there, you might as well check it. It's inside this little restroom area. You get a LEDX right here above this PC, basically in front of this printer. I'm gonna check the PCs because I want to get some extra rubles. I probably should have looted all the PCs, but as you can see here, you get more weapon parts, and then I believe weapon testing key spawns right here. So yeah, this pretty much concludes it. You can jump down here for the elevator, but it's gonna break your legs most of the times if you don't know how to do it properly. I don't know how to do it properly every single time, so I'm gonna show you how to get to the extract anyway. So that's the black keycard room. You go down through this door once you get to the basement. Once you open the door, be cautious. Raiders can spawn here. If both of these doors are open, that means the raiders have opened them and passed through. Same with the doors over on that side. As you can see, doors are closed, so they haven't passed through. But be careful still, because the raiders can kind of sit here, and they don't always move straight away. So come through the door into this little room here. That's the drop down spot where you break your legs. And hit the switch. You go back. Check the toolbox for extra rubles, as I can. And I'll pick this up as well. Inside this tarp you get some stuff occasionally. As you noticed, I dropped my bag here because the extract is right here. You call the elevator. And you wait a little bit for the elevator to come up. Generally, you will not have a completely dead raid like I did. But I'll put the amount of rubles I made up on the screen. I'll show you the loot one more time. Don't think I put anything in here. I didn't. So I'll sell it all. I'll put it on screen how much I made. And then don't go anywhere yet because I'm going to show you all the extracts as well. So I'll see you in an offline raid, boys. Alright, we are finally in an offline raid. I'm gonna use a couple of stims so I can run through it a little faster. I'll try and take it in one take so you guys can actually have some sort of reference point to where these extractions are. So the very first one is the parking gate. This one's simple. You can sometimes you get a prompt to press open parking gate or whatever it says. This, along with the hangar gate that's on the other side of the map, does not spawn 100% of the time, or does not have the chance to open 100% of the time. So once you press it, that hangar door over there opens, or parking gate door opens, and you can just run in there. You don't even have to go very far. You just make a couple steps into the hangar gate there, or parking gate I should say, and you'll be extracting. Be wary though, every time you press a button on labs that opens an extract, it spawns raiders, or it has a chance to spawn raiders. It doesn't spawn them 100% of the time. And with the parking gate and hangar gate both, they can spawn behind the door there. They can also spawn around the middle area here and they'll start running around. So next up we are going to sector R. There's the cat office. That's the violet red room. We go down from here, go into this little machine room, turn to the right, and where these pipes are, you turn to the right as well. As you can hear, the announcer says sector R something something in Russian. You go through the door here, and through another door here, and you have the extraction right here. The elevator comes up, you go inside, you press the button to go down. Next up is the sewage conduct. So from that elevator, the sewage conduct is probably the one that I don't really use. So it's on the left side here. You go through this door, or the door at the back here. I'll go through this one first, or I'll go through here, this one. And you run to the end of it until you get to this door, and once you open it, you're in the sewer. As you can see, both sides have a gate. You turn right. That's like a... You can see the end of that, so you know you don't want to go that way. You open the gate door. If you go through the back door, obviously, you don't have to open the gate. As you can see, it says O2. You run to the end of this. And you get to this little beautiful area here. There is a switch here, or a button here you press. Then you lose your hearing because the water is going to start flowing out. And you just have to go here and you wait after the water has disappeared completely almost, and then you can extract. It takes about 90 seconds. So that's the one with a bit of delay there, I suppose. Alright, as you can see, I am in the middle section now. I skipped the sewer, exiting the sewer part. So there's the dome, there's the office as we looted. That's the manager's office. That right there is the weapons testing area, the key. And you just run to the open section here. And there is a little control booth. Go through the door. There's another valuable spawn down here if you're interested in that. And it seems like both of these are disabled. But once again, you come here, you get the prompt, you press it, you get the alarm, door comes up. There's a chance that the raiders spawn inside behind the door. But they can also spawn around the middle area, around the stairs over there, and they'll just kind of roam around. You'll hear them yelling pretty easily, so there is that. And also, extracting is the same way. You just run in through the door, and after a few steps, you'll get to the right place, and you start extracting. So the last extracts are in the basement as well. The one you already saw, I'm gonna show you anyway. You go through the door, past these yellow pipes. You flip the switch here. And it's as simple as calling the elevator once again. It's this one. That's the medical block elevator. And this is where you trigger the cargo elevator. And then you run out of here and you go straight until the end of the hall. But there's one more thing I have to show you. You get to the end of the hall and you go up from here to all the way up as far up as you can. But there is one more extract, which is called the ventilation shaft. I don't know why I jumped. And right here, if you don't have a backpack, that's how you take this elevator extract. Just so you know. I never take that because obviously I want to take the loot out. Unless you have like a super good item, you're in a sticky situation and you want to get out with that LEDX or whatever, then of course take it. So we go up one floor. That's at the end of this is the black room, and we go up one more. And right here, this big elevator is the cargo elevator. You can see the button turns green, and it takes a moment to open up, and then you get another medical case or med case in there, and that concludes the extracts. You get a med case here, and then you just press the button and it'll go down. So that concludes the extractions. If you have any other questions regarding to labs or anything else, feel free to leave them in the comments. Thanks for watching, my friends, and I hope you have an awesome day. Goodbye.